those baby steps for 17 years. Beautiful things have just, along the way, have been revealed.
What I love about that is it's the action that gave you the clarity. Like, it's the consistent steps that opened up the path.
Absolutely. If you wait for a plan, if you wait for the answers to know how to do something, you're not going to do anything. You're not going anywhere. It's in faith that you take these small steps, and beautiful things will happen along the way.
You are listening to the Take a Step podcast, where we help young men reject complacency and take purposeful action every day. My name's Josh Johnston. Let's take a step.
Guys, welcome back to the Take a Step podcast. I'm joined by a guest today, in person actually, for the first time on the Take a Step podcast, which is exciting. But someone who just has such a unique story that I'm excited to showcase and really dive into the journey and the mission behind what you've built. Guys, so today we've got Daryl Roberts joining us on the podcast. Daryl, thanks for joining.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to just kick it off to have you introduce yourself however you think it makes sense. So with that said, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, I'm Daryl Roberts. Have a wife of 30 plus years, 2 boys, 23, 20. My oldest son owns a CrossFit gym, and my youngest son, he actually works for us now, Live 2540 in Birmingham.
Very cool.
Yep, I'm truly blessed to have a wife that loves me well and loves the mission that the work that we're doing, and 2 boys as well that are passionate about family and God and doing the right thing, and they want to see good things happen in the world as well. So I live in Cartersville, not too far from here, and been working in West Africa for the last 17 years. And it's been quite an adventure.
Yeah, I can imagine. Why West Africa?
So in 2008, I was asked to go on a short-term mission trip to Liberia through my local church. And things were good, comfortable. Life was good. I owned a real estate company at that time. And I told the guy, no way. I have no interest going to Liberia. I don't know what I would do. I don't know why I would be there. But thanks for asking.
Yeah.
And but after I gave that no, God really nudged me. I was very unsettled, and I talked to my wife, and I was like, I really feel like God's telling me to go. He's really messing with me. So I called the guy out, and I was like, all right, I'm in. I'll go. Even not knowing really why I was going, other than I felt a nudge. I really didn't know what we were going to be doing while we were there. I didn't understand the trip, honestly. I just knew that I needed to give a yes. So that's what I did. And that yes changed my life forever. And I'm eternally grateful for that.
So what came on the other side of saying yes? Like what did you experience? Obviously you had no idea what you were stepping into. Like what was involved on the other side of saying yes?
Yeah, so
Hey guys, we'll jump right back into the conversation, but I want to give y'all a quick look into MMP Customs. They make all of the Take a Step apparel, and they are the official sponsor of the Take a Step podcast. Check them out.
Hey guys, I'm Nathan Mooney, co-owner of MMP Customs. We are a custom merchandise company specializing in screen printing and embroidery. If you're a business, band, school, or any other type of organization that needs custom merchandise, MMP Customs is the place. Whether you have a big apparel need for an event or need to outfit your company, we offer a no minimum guarantee and have never missed an approved deadline. At MMP Customs, you will experience the best customer service there is. Let our family outfit yours. Visit mmpcustoms.com. That's mmpcustoms.com.
On the other side was us loading up into on a plane, 17 of us, and flying. I think our layovers were ridiculous. We had a layover in Nigeria and Lagos. It was 11 hours, and I think our total trip time was like 40 hours. It was insane.
Yeah.
And then we finally got to Liberia. I'm like, all right, we've arrived, and we were not there yet. We had to take a 9.5-hour drive out into the bush. And
I'm assuming in a Cadillac Escalade on a nice paved road.
Yeah, it was an old 15-passenger van with dry rotted tires. We had 3 flat tires on the way. The roads were unbelievable, like potholes probably taller than the van itself. So we had to be super careful. But it did 9.5 hours later in the dark, having no idea where we were at.
Yeah.
We finally get to a little town called Barnga, and where we're able to lay our heads in a really, really dungy, is that a word? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Dingy, dark.
Sure.
We'll go with dark.
We'll go with dark.
Spot that was exposed to the elements. It was hot. It was really like almost impossible to sleep, but we were finally there. And so then we started doing some work in the area, and I really just wasn't feeling it. I was like, I still don't know why we're here. Like I know this is not why God has nudged me, has called me to this place. And so I was lost really for 7 days out of an 8-day trip. Day 7, we were doing some work in his native village, Balama, and I just asked the guys, like, listen, I don't know what we're doing. I'm not feeling it. I have a heart for children. Is there something around here that I can do? And he said, yeah, 200 yards up the road, there's an orphanage. So we took off. We walked up this dusty road and took a right up this hill. And when I got up the top of the hill, I was surrounded by 67 kids. They were in horrific condition, physical condition. Their living conditions as well, unbelievable. I'd never seen anything like it. But I had perfect peace at that moment, being surrounded by those children. Heaven and earth came together for me. God gave me full clarity that this is why you're here. These children, this is why you're here. And the message was clear. The care of these children is now yours. They are yours to care for. So I called my wife, and
Baby, everything's changed.
Yeah, the family has just grown a bit.
Yeah.
From 2 boys to 69 kids, so 2 to 69. But you know what's amazing in that is, like, I believe God had gone before me before that phone call, because her heart was prepared, and she has never wavered. We're 17 years in now. For 17 years, she has been serving these children so beautifully.
Did you expect that?
You know, it was all unexpected.
Yeah.
I've been immensely grateful that she's always had a loving heart, you know. So I guess in hindsight, maybe I should have known, like, yeah, she's gonna be okay with this.
Yeah. But it's such a big change. Like it's going from, you know, obviously you didn't even want to go right when you said yes, and going from not wanting to go. I'm sure she knew you were kind of having hesitations about going from that mindset to all of a sudden getting a call and saying, I think we're going to up and change everything.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were a lot of questions that she had leading into her willingness to just, like, you know what, I'm here for it.
Yeah. You know, it was just, like I said, I believe God prepared her. Some way, somehow, she was prepared. She started raising money and gathering clothes even before I got home, amongst our friends and family. While I was getting food on the ground for these kids in Liberia, so they'd have something to eat in the interim while we figured things out. So I feel like, you know, she just jumped in with both feet, and it was beautiful. So those 67 kids, we started feeding them right away, getting them the medicine they needed. some healthcare issues that they had, addressing those things. 2010, we built them new dormitories. We built a school there on campus. And we've been serving those 67 kids ever since. We have 36 of those kids at the university right now. We saw them through, they had no schooling. So we saw them through elementary school, middle school, high school.
Were these schools that were already established, or did y'all kind of build the schools?
Yeah, so our school that we built was elementary at first.
Okay.
We weren't ready for, and most of the kids were in that age group. We weren't ready for middle high, but each year we added a grade, and now we're pre-K-12 on that campus, and we've served the village, the community. We have about 300 kids every year on that campus. Our principal is one of the original kids.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Prince Dway, brilliant guy. He just needed an opportunity. So we saw him through high school, saw him through college. He graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree and came back to work for us.
That's so cool.
Out of a heart of gratefulness for what had been done for him. So he's all in. He's fantastic. He's a great leader. We have 45 staff there at the school now, and he's done a phenomenal job. Some of our other staff are also some of the original 67 kids that we saw through school,
Do
through
you know
college.
how many total out of those 67? How many currently are
Our
employed?
own staff?
Yeah.
I would say 6 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, six of them, and 36 are still in school. And a couple of them actually work at other schools as teachers. So the kids that go to college, they study nursing, agriculture, education, or theology. Those are the 4 tracks. And I think we have at least one in each of those areas. We have one that Robert Quay just graduated with a degree in theology. But anyway, special kids. We've been with them for a long time. But along the way, God has presented new opportunities for us to serve His children. Seems like year after year, He's presented and asked us to participate in the work in a different way.
Yeah. So what started with 67 that you originally met when you decided to make this pivot? How many kids get touched by the ministry of Live 2540 on an annual basis now?
Yeah, I can put math to some of that. I don't know the reach beyond that. I feel like there's some reach that we can't quantify.
Yeah. And just from the spider web of you impact one life, and they have their own network of people that they're going to take that and have an impact on.
That's correct.
Yeah.
But I would say this year we're expecting to touch, if you will, I would say 35,000 plus kids.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So God's invited us into some very robust projects over the last 17 years. 2014-15, Ebola hit Liberia really hard. It's the hardest hit country. And someone told me the other day, it's like, God compelled you to go. And I was like, yeah, He did. He compelled me to go. I just knew I had to be there. Many children had lost their parents due to the Ebola virus and had nowhere to go. So I flew over, put a team together, and we went into some of the hardest hit villages where they had just been devastated. And we took in over 400 kids and placed them in foster care situations. And we've been feeding them since that time, 2014-15. We've recently, many of them have aged out a bit, we've kind of pulled back on that program. But that was a crazy time.
Yeah.
Crazy time. So we didn't have the resources to care for an additional 400 kids, but I knew that's what I was supposed to be doing, and I knew that God had called me to it, and I knew that He would provide, and He did. He did. People stepped up in a massive way. Once they found out what was going on and where I was, I kind of had to sneak out, to be honest with you, because people were a bit up in arms about the whole Ebola thing.
Yeah.
And Cartersville particularly, because Phoenix Air was flying Ebola patients out of Liberia, some people that I know.
Yeah.
So people were just, a bit unsettled for sure, if you will. About that
I mean,
whole
a
thing.
lot of people, I love that you bring that up about like there's a lot of unprecedented circumstances that came up, but you knew that's what God had called you to do, and because of that, like trusting in His providence throughout that process, I'm sure was testing at times, but I'm sure it also grew your faith immensely, and just seeing like the inexplainable just providence of being in these circumstances that you don't really have a way, you don't really have a plan, but just seeing God's plan incorporated throughout that. Do you have any specific memories where you remember being at a point where there was something where you're just like, I don't know how this is going to play out?
Yeah, so actually coming down, landing into Liberia, I'm like, all right, God, I'm here, but I have no idea how we're going to pull this off.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea, if anybody's going to be willing to go with me into these villages.
And this was in the heart of Ebola?
It was in the heart of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there 3 times during the Ebola virus. I had no idea. But I've learned that as God calls you into something, He will lead you through it. You just have to have faith, and you have to take baby steps.
Yeah, amen.
You have to take small steps, but forward progress, and you figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
With Him leading the way, and that's what happened. We were able to put together a good team. We were able to acquire a vehicle, which we needed, and we were able to. They had trackers out in the field. We were able to connect with some trackers, and they were able to tell us, all right, these children lost their parents. They were able to direct us as to where to go. So we worked alongside people that were already out in the field doing some work, and it all came together.
Yeah,
it all came together. It was I'm not gonna lie, like it was scary. Like we were in houses where the virus had devastated the family.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know, like the whole team, like we were at risk for sure. But we maybe they were just following me, but
yeah,
I knew that this was the purpose. This is why we're here, and we got to do it.
Yeah, and it's an extreme example that I think so many people find themselves in relative to their personal lives. Like, a lot of what I focus on is helping young guys who are feeling complacent, who may be choosing that comfortable path, like you were talking about before you were on this trip of just doing what they feel like they're supposed to do, just feeling what they're doing, like they're doing the things that everyone else is doing because that's what's normal.
Yeah.
There's something powerful that comes into play, especially when you have a certain level of dependence on God to provide, when you take a step out into what you feel like you're called to do, what you feel like your purpose is. So before you went on the trip,
mm-hmm.
before you made the had the initial yes of going to Liberia, where were you at as far as your professional aspirations, what you were choosing to do? Like, what was your plan before this whole thing got started?
Yeah, so professionally, I owned a real estate company.
Yeah.
And we were very comfortable, very comfortable. Had all the nice things. We could travel when we wanted to, which we did. Life was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a sweet life, truthfully. And my aspirations really at that time were, all right, take care of my family and make as much money as I can. You know.
Any deep level of faith at that point in your life?
Yeah, I was in the church, and my father was a pastor actually.
Okay.
So I grew up in the church. Like,
Let me ask you that, because
I was there like all the time.
Was it your father being a pastor? Did that kind of numb you to like the magnitude and the power of surrounding yourself with like-minded Christians, and like what, like you talk about the spiritual disciplines, like the power those hold in someone's life? Like, did you become numb to that, just constantly being in that world? Like, did that, like, I guess a better way of asking the question is like, did that lead to a certain level of complacency in your faith, or were you someone that was always pretty intentional about your spiritual growth?
Yeah, no, I would say I was quite complacent.
Okay.
I was still in the church. Was I very active? No. I was really more about the work, the professional work, not the spiritual work. But I did have, I must say, my parents were great role models for me. Funny story, when I told my mom I was going to Liberia during the Ebola crisis, you know, I had no choice. God was leading me, you know, he was telling me, compelling me. And she was like, if God's telling you to do this, then you've got to go. And if you suffer, even if you die, you are doing what God's called you to do. So I was like, I didn't quite know how to take that from my mother. You know? Saying like, you know, it's okay. You know, if you die, you die. It's okay. You know, you're doing what the Lord's calling you to. But those were my parents. You know, like they were people of strong faith, and but yeah, I'd kind of fallen away. I was really, we didn't live a life of the rich and famous, if you will. My father never made a lot of money, so I think that kind of played into me wanting to professionally succeed. Yeah, and really that being my focus. But that trip, that yes, changed everything. Yeah. Yeah, I came home from that first trip, pulled up in the driveway of our house. My wife was driving because, you know, I was just tired. And I told her, sitting in the driveway, even before we got out of the car, like, this is not right. This is we've got to sell this place. There's work that we can do with the resources that we have that kind of waste, you know. Yeah. And again, she's all on board. Yeah. So a lot of changes took place for us personally. Yeah. A lot of material sacrifices, if you will, if you can consider those sacrifices.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, I gave the business away, sold the house. It was truly a beautiful transition, in that, and I'm so grateful. God gave me clarity, which is a gift. He gave me exact purpose, a gift, and he took from me my desires for material things. They were just wiped away, and I'm so grateful that I had that little nudge. Even if I hadn't had the nudge, you know, that just saying yes to doing something way outside the box for me, something where I didn't know why, I didn't know what, and it was very uncomfortable. But doing that, saying yes, going into that uncomfortable situation, seeing some things that I just didn't know existed. I'm just grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm grateful.
Sometimes it takes, more often than not, it takes those uncomfortable times in order to give us the clarity
Absolutely.
and the vision that we need.
Absolutely. We got to, I think that's where more times than not, it's really hard to find God sometimes in our comfort. And in those uncomfortable situations that we can choose to put ourselves into, we can really find the Lord in a powerful way.
On that note, there was a workshop I hosted here a couple months ago, and I had my buddy Shane Smith give a little mini sermon for it. And there was one thing there was a passage that he talked about from Matthew. It was talking about how when God led Jesus in the wilderness to be tempted by Satan, and he said, side note, it says that God led Jesus into the wilderness, and then he said, just because something is hard doesn't mean it's not from God. Sometimes God puts us in the most uncomfortable situations so that he can give us the most clarity. And I hear that screaming through your story is like, you had this obviously like what the world would look at as this is a successful guy. He knows what he's doing. To anyone else, that looks like a fulfilling life. And obviously there was something deep down inside where you were saying there's something more, like this isn't fulfilling, and it took putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation that you didn't even know why. Like that's obvious that God was leading you down that path. So it's so cool to hear just like the decision of saying yes and putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation, not knowing what was going to come on the other side of that. I mean, what started with like an impactful 67 kids right in front of you that gave you, peace of mind has turned into, what you said, 35,000 that you'll directly touch this year, not counting, the impacts they'll have in their personal life. So when you first had that clarity with those 67 kids, like, did you know what your next steps were going to be, or were you just saying, we'll figure it, like, I know I need to have an impact and I know this is what I want to do, we'll figure it out?
Yeah, no, I had no idea, man. So I'm a University of Georgia. I graduated from UGA.
Go Dogs.
Yeah.
Love that.
But now they would laugh at me with my SAT scores. There's no way I would get in. I just say that to say, like, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Yeah.
So I had no idea. I'm not an engineering mind. I couldn't see I didn't have the forethought to, like, all right, these are the steps. This is what we've got to do. I had no clue.
Yeah.
But we've really, over 17 years, the model is that forward progress.
Yeah.
Not even a full step, half steps forward, half step forward, half step forward. In 2013, it was a fundraiser. I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, and when you hit that last day, it was an 8-day trek. The last day, you're going from 15.3 to 19.3, right? Mm-hmm. And if you overstep, you're going to lose your breath. There's no supplemental oxygen.
That fast?
Yeah. So
wow.
So it's half steps for you get up, you start going up the mountain at 12:30 at night, with the hope that by 6:30, 6 hours, you'll arrive at the peak. And you have to take half steps all the way. You one misstep and you can lose your breath. And I liken this to that experience, that last day, the ascent, the mountaintop. It took those half steps, those baby steps, for 6 hours. And then you arrive at the peak, the pinnacle. And the beauty is just unbelievable. It's just incredible. And this experience, much like that, serving the Lord in this way, those baby steps for 17 years, beautiful things have just, along the way, have been revealed.
And it's like, what I love about that is something I talk about all the time. It's the action that gave you the clarity. Like, it's the consistent steps that opened up the path. Like, you wouldn't have been able to put half the things into a plan that you guys probably now do on a daily basis, you wouldn't have known like that was even an option to put into a plan. But the only way that was disclosed to you was through those small steps taken on a consistent basis.
Absolutely. If you wait for a plan, if you wait for the answers to know how to do something, you're not going to do anything. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's in faith that you take these small steps.
Yeah.
And beautiful things will happen along the way. That's the way it's been for 17 years now.
Yeah, there's a great quote. Have you heard of Donald Miller? Great, he's an author, business coach. Does building a story brand, Business Made Simple, or a couple of his writings. But he has a great quote that I read last year. He says, "Those that take action on a bad plan will go way further than those that don't take action on a great plan."
All right.
It's like not this like.
I'm not saying my plans are perfect.
I say the same thing as like I was not the best student. I was not, as far as like it didn't come naturally to me. But something like a muscle that I feel like I've trained over the past, 4 or 5 years is like the willingness to take action despite not knowing what lives on the other side of that action. Because I think the action, like we were saying, the action is what produces the clarity. The action is what opens up the doors. But if you wait for the open door and you don't take action, then you'll probably not see what's on the other side of that door. So I love that.
So true.
Where'd the name Live 2540 come from?
Yeah, so originally we were Orphanage Liberia. That's how we incorporated originally. We were focused on orphanages in Liberia specifically. But over the years, God called us into other work. So we weren't necessarily just serving orphan children. And it just didn't give clarity as to who we were. It didn't reflect us well. So we made a name change. And God just put that name on my heart as our mission is to live out Matthew 25:40. As you've done it unto the least of these, you've done it unto me. So that's the 2540, and we're called to live it out. So Live 2540 kind of sounds like a club maybe, but in reality it's the mission.
Yeah. So through that mission, obviously it started with the education, that component, and like, so what are the different avenues that you guys are able to step into today through the organization over in Liberia?
Yeah, so we started out with a feeding program.
Okay.
Then we built a school. So those things still exist. We've delivered well over 10 million meals over the years. So we have a field team that go out every month and deliver food into some really, really rough situations.
Yeah.
And then the school is again, about 300 kids every year, pre-K 12. We have a great staff. I would put them up against any other school in the whole country. 2019, God revealed a greater need to us. The education system in Liberia has been ranked next to last worldwide. It's horrific. You can't get your head around how horrible it is. Healthcare is worse.
Yeah,
it's worse.
Almost non-existent.
It's unreal. I just got back from my 47th trip, and you just can't wrap your head around how dysfunctional it is. But 2019, Zach, who's worked with me for many years now, he was in Liberia, and he got a call about a little girl named Teresa. They had taken her. She was in one of the orphanages that we served, but they had taken her to a bush clinic. She was not well, but they called Zach and said, you need to come do something with her. So he went. She was in the corner by herself, and he could tell like she was very, very sick. So he scooped her up, put her in the car, and brought her to the city, to one of the hospitals that we partner with, and brought her into the hospital. There's people everywhere. These Liberian hospitals, there's people everywhere. But out of the mist, if you will, Dr. Bethany comes out, sees Zach, sees this little girl, sees that she's immensely sick. At this point, she's convulsing in his arms. And she scoops Teresa up, takes her into the peds ward where they begin caring for her. And they cared for her for 12 days. Of course, Zach's checking on her all the time. But day 12, she died. She had cerebral malaria, which is very prevalent. And it's malaria that is untreated, and eventually it reaches the brain, and oftentimes it ends in death. And that is what happened to little Teresa.
How long ago was that?
That was 2019. But Zach, through that experience, developed a relationship with Dr. Bethany, who scooped the little girl up, and her husband, Dr. Mikey. They're from the UK. And so Zach was like, all right, what do you guys need here? And Dr. Mikey was like, we need Plumpy Nut, which is a world-class science-based product out of northern France that is used to treat starving children. And that, he said, that's our greatest need, because the number of starving children that were coming into this facility is tremendous. And
how does it treat starving children? Like, what's the process of it?
Yeah, so it's a peanut-based product. It's a lipid-based product. It's full of vitamins and minerals, and you feed the child, and with it being lipid-based, as they eat it, all the nourishment is equally distributed to their organs.
Interesting.
So most of these children, there's a massive problem with children being born premature, and they have no NICUs, so they just go home. They go home, so their organs never fully developed. So they either die, which many children do before their first birthday. It's a massive number of children. And a big reason for that is that their mothers are malnourished as well, and they can't produce food for the child post-delivery. But the Plumpy Nut, there's also other products that precede that. So if you have a child that is in such severe condition that they can't digest the Plumpy Nut, then there's a liquid-based product that's very similar that you can start them on and prepare them until they get enough strength and they're able to process the Plumpy Nut. It's a little more dense. But that product actually takes a child in just a matter of weeks. The children would come in oftentimes fully emaciated, skin sloughing off, hair falling out, unbelievable condition. But within a matter of weeks, they're unrecognizable compared to what they looked like when they first came in. They're up, sitting up, they're playing, maybe crawling around. But it takes these kids from a failing position, which they've existed in since delivery, since birth, and moves them into a thriving position through their organs being able to complete their development. So even though this child might go back to an undernourished environment, their body is more prepared and able to handle that.
Got it.
So there's not there's not a lot of relapse. It does happen, but it's not very, very common. It's an unbelievable product. So Zach goes out. All right, I'm going to get you some Plumpy Nut. He goes out and gathers in the market. He's able to find like 150 packs, right? He's got them like in his shirt, right? And he takes it to the hospital. He's like, Mikey, I got you, man. And he's like, how long will this last you? And he's like, maybe half a day or so.
You just saved a year.
The fact is, they had nothing. They did not have any. They hadn't had any for a long, long time. And they couldn't source it. They couldn't find it. So anyway, so we figured that piece out. We're like, okay, this is much bigger than we thought.
Yeah.
How can we bring this product in on a mass scale? So we began shipping it in through Nutriset, which is the company out of France. Therapeutic milks and the Plumpy Nut. And to date, we've distributed over 1 million packets.
Really?
Of Plumpy Nut.
Do you have any sort of way of quantifying
amazing.
how many individuals have been impacted through?
I would have to do some math.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thousands and thousands and thousands.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And it's, is that all facilitated through Live 2540?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's beautiful. I mean, truthfully, you'll see kids come in, like I said, in horrific condition, but to see them on the backside, the before and afters are just amazing.
Yeah.
So we dove into that 2019, and malnutrition is not the only issue. Malaria is a massive
health
issue.
as a whole, I feel like.
Health as a whole.
Yeah.
Because these kids are weak. They are not well nourished. They're not able to fight things off. And two, they don't have access. They don't have access to medicine. They don't have access to doctors and nurses. They don't have the money to pay for any kind of treatment. A malaria treatment, a world-class malaria treatment, is well under $5.
That's it?
Yeah. I mean, like the real deal, like good stuff, man. But you have to have. They don't have $5.
Yeah.
They just don't have it. So that's something that we provide. All of our care, which we've now built a hospital. It's called the Jesus Loves Me Children's Center. It's in a.
You guys built the hospital?
We've now built. Yeah, we have our own facility in addition to partners that we work with, other hospitals and clinics. But
how big of a hospital?
So it's 18,000 square feet. Has outpatient and inpatient wards. And this year, we're on track to treat about 35,000 kids.
Oh my gosh!
Through that facility.
What does cost look like in order to get a hospital built over there? I'm assuming logistics is its own beast as far as.
Yeah, it took us 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it took us 3 years to build it. God really. It's unbelievable the people He brought into that project to make it happen. Natives. I think at one time we had 90 guys on site.
Wow.
Fantastic, really. Their abilities, their craft, their skill levels grew tremendously over a 3-year period.
Oh, I bet.
Through the leadership of an engineer that sacrificed his life as well. He was from Kalispell, Montana. He came and stayed on site, and he's still in Liberia.
Wow.
The guy's truly gifted, and it's just crazy, like all the people that God dropped into the project to see it through, and now the kids are coming, and it's just beautiful, man. Talk about those baby steps.
Yeah.
3 years of, like quarter steps, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Quarter steps, but in the end, like it's just turned into something beautiful for children and mamas and daddies that had no hope, had nowhere to take their children, but now they have a place to go and receive free, quality, compassionate health care delivered under the name of Jesus as they enter the Jesus Loves Me Children's Center.
Is that the name of it?
A great adventure, yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Literally, I know it's,
you can't deny it.
Yeah, saving lives on a daily basis. That's so cool.
It's cool too, like our staff. So I think we're over 100 now at the hospital. Docs, PAs.
All people that were local?
Not all local. No.
Okay.
Most of them, yes, are Liberian.
So employment as well.
But not all of the. Yeah. That's a beautiful thing. Even though the construction took 3 years, you think about those 90 guys, right, being able to care for their families in a country where unemployment is 85+%.
My goodness.
And that's a beautiful thing, right?
Yeah.
So when you start a project like that, you don't think about the journey so much. You think about, all right, we got to get this done, start getting kids in the door. But these guys were discipled like intentionally every day, 7:30 every morning. They're having devotion. They learn to be great construction workers, skilled gentlemen. They learn to be good husbands and good fathers. And that's just a great added benefit that going into the project you don't even think about.
Yeah.
And now, yes, we have a lot of people working there that are able to care for their families, and so that's just an added benefit to seeing all these kids that most of them probably would not make it otherwise, but now they have a place for good quality care, loving care delivered in the name of Jesus. Yeah, it's really cool. So all our staff, they know. They sign a contract, and they speak to this as well before we hire them, that they are missionaries first. And whatever their specialty is, that's secondary. So they're praying over these mamas and these babies. They're singing with them. They're dancing with them. They're Bible lessons every morning. The inside of the hospital is painted with the stories of Jesus, because the majority of the population, probably around 70%, they're illiterate. So they see the paintings, which are beautiful and colorful, and we're able to lead them through and talk to them about how Jesus loves them and some of the stories in the Bible that relate to that. And anyway, it's just cool, man.
Yeah, so
it's just cool.
That project wrapped up last year, as far as the finalization, the opening of the hospital.
The hospital opened in October.
Okay.
Of last year. We're still doing some other projects on the compound.
I was going to ask,
22-acre compound.
Okay.
So we just finished a couple of apartments for our doctors, our lead doctors, so they would be close by for on call. Because right now they're having to drive in, like on the weekends and nights. If there's a thing, a critical care situation that they need to come and address. So they're going to be living on the compound now, just a couple hundred yards away from the hospital. We have more construction that needs to take place for teams coming in and for other medical professionals that can come in and assist us along the way. So those things are going on, but the hospital's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's unbelievable.
I can imagine.
It's completely off grid. This is another great story. So it's fully solar. There's no system like it in the entire country. We had 8 Swedish engineers come in and custom build this system, and it's unbelievable. So they're able to monitor it from. I said Sweden, right?
Yeah, Swiss.
I'm sorry, my guys. I'm sorry.
Swiss.
I love you. From Switzerland.
Okay.
Yeah, and so they monitor it. They monitor it via satellite now, but we haven't had a hiccup. It's been fantastic, and to see it, you're like, wow, that's next level. But you got kids that are on oxygen. You got, you just can't lose power, and there is no grid out there.
Yeah.
There are no power lines. But that was another crazy thing, how these guys came in and sacrificed their time and used their brilliance. These guys are brilliant engineers, right, to create this system so that we don't have any we don't have to worry,
They gave that. Like they didn't. Did they charge you for their time when they came in to do that?
Oh, it was a very expensive system.
I was gonna imagine. So
immensely expensive.
Like as you're explaining this, like the impact is incredible, but like I can't help but think like there's a lot that goes into it from a financial perspective. So, like how do y'all go about fundraising? Do y'all do a lot of partnerships? Is it more local outreach? How do you go about building partners and building funds for these projects?
Yeah, so the majority of our donors are individuals.
Okay.
We have some beautiful church partners, but by far the majority of our donors are people that we've built relationships with over the years, friends, family. They've all become friends and family,
Yeah.
But it's just like you and me sitting across from the table from one another, talking about the work, and you deciding to, you know what, I got to help out.
Yeah.
I need to step in this space and come alongside these kids because it is a life-saving initiative. What we're doing we also have a retail store.
Yeah, I was going to ask about some of these products that you have. So you have the shirt, the mug, and it looks like a magazine up here.
Yeah, so we have a brick and mortar fair trade store in Cartersville. We have an online market. We come out and visit. We'll set up on site, different locations like Q Fitness.
Yeah.
And give them the opportunity to participate in the work. And as crazy as it sounds, like, all right, you're buying a T-shirt, right? You're like, that's no big deal. Honestly, that T-shirt, you think about the cost of a malaria treatment, right?
Yeah, $5. What's a T-shirt cost?
It costs $22.
So you're saving
But if
4 lives?
There is our cost involved, so we have to back that out. But you could literally, save 3 lives with the purchase of a T-shirt.
Just by providing the means to treat three people for malaria with the treatment.
That's it, man.
That's so cool.
So we love the retail piece of it. So that is a significant part of our funding as well. And it's good for storytelling too. People,
of course,
they want to know what's that shirt about.
Well, and like the cool part where my mind's going back to, that you guys have the ability to give like real world examples of like the impact that buying that shirt can have. I could go back to the story of what's her name, Teresa. Mm-hmm. It's like that's like that shirt, purchasing that shirt has the power to do that times 3. To what could have kept her on this earth times 3 is like the impact is magnifying.
Our first patient, Sarah. She had cerebral malaria, but she had a place to go, and she was able to get there in time, and she was able to get the medicine she needed in time, and she was dismissed just a few days after she was admitted.
Oh, the first patient at the
Our
hospital?
very first patient suffered from the same thing that Teresa suffered from.
That's God.
Teresa didn't have anywhere to go. Sarah had a place to go.
Man.
And it's a totally different story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's so cool. So what's the like as you guys continue to grow and evolve, like what's the vision for the future?
Yeah, so the hospital's fairly new now still. Yeah. Children are coming in record numbers every month. As the word is getting out, like that's the place. Like they provide free care. They have good staff. They care for you well. People are coming. They're coming. We've had some come as far as 4 hours to us. So we really want to do that well. So we're trying to figure out all those processes, procedures, make sure we've got the right staff in place. Make sure we're just fluid in the processes of caring for these children properly. And it's working out beautifully. We just last month, our numbers were higher than any other PEDS facility in the country. So we now have the largest pediatric facility, pediatric care inpatient, pediatric feeding program, and outpatient in the country. And those numbers are growing every month. So we want to do that well. And once we feel like we're at a place where, all right, we got this figured out, then we want to dive into maternal health, because that's really the root of a lot of these problems.
Yeah.
Is mamas that are not well nourished, mothers that need prenatal care, proper prenatal care, so that they can carry a child well. There's a lot of mothers that die during childbirth. Lots of mamas, not just babies, but lots of mamas as well. So if we can strengthen them, get to them as early as in the pregnancy as possible, and give them. There's a product. It's called Plumpy Mom. It's incredible. It's been tested out on the market. If we can give them this product as early in the pregnancy as possible, and continue to feed them with that to 6 months beyond delivery, they should be well able to be strong enough to survive delivery, for there to be a healthy pregnancy, for the child to survive delivery, and for them to be able to produce for this child on the backside, where that so that should reduce the number of malnutrition cases that we're seeing in children.
Yeah.
Because the mothers are able to feed their children properly. And the children are fully developed.
So my wife and I just had our first daughter
Congratulations.
back in September. She's almost 10 months now. And my wife's only breastfeeding, and I see like she hasn't had formula her entire life. Part of it's because she won't take a bottle, which is just a joy. But at the same time, both all the way up until delivery and then post-delivery, like the strength I've seen that a mom needs in order to, provide for the baby, like it takes a level of strength that I never would have guessed would have been the case up until we've gone through this experience. And I can only imagine, because my wife and I both played sports through college, and and she's an incredible athlete herself. But like somebody who's we live in America, a pretty comfortable environment, and then you compare that to what I'm sure the everyday mom who's pregnant in Liberia, what her the status of her health is, and I can only imagine like the strain that puts on their body at the health levels that they're at. So man, it's very impactful for me to hear just the level of care and the level of intentionality you guys put towards people in that situation to solve the problem of child nutrition.
Well, and solve is a good word, because these are issues that can be addressed.
Yeah.
The resources just need to be there. And that's where we're at right now. Like, the more resources we have, the more able we are to reach many more kids, and the more able we are to prepare for that whole maternal health piece.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, for us, we need more people coming alongside the work.
Yeah.
It turns into life for a child. Turns into hope for a mother.
Mm-hmm. How can people do that? Like, if there's someone that's listening right now that's like fully that's been impacted the way I have just by hearing the story, like what can people do? How can they get involved?
Yeah, so they go through the website at live2540.org. They can see the stories, and there's a Make an Impact tab on the website for people to be able to give. We love our one-time donors in a massive way. We also love our monthly givers too. Like, we love for people to come alongside and participate in the work month after month after month, and know, and this is a great opportunity for a mom and dad to involve the family in something really beautiful, and to let them know, like, all right, this month this is what we're doing. We're saving the life of 4 kids this month, guys, through our monthly giving, and we provide content, fresh content, on Facebook, Instagram, on the Live 2540, under the Live 2540 tag, so that they can share that, so they can see it themselves, but they can also share that with the family.
See the impact that they're having.
There's no denying it.
Yeah.
We are very vigilant in providing real and new content. Like, this is what's happening in the field, guys. So that people can, even though you're not there, and you can never really fully grasp it without seeing it, smelling it, tasting it, but you can get close through the content that we're pushing out on IG and Facebook. And we send out regular email updates. We have hard copy newsletters that go out. It's important for them to know what they're giving to, and to understand the impact of their giving.
Let me ask you this, because I can't help but think back to it, just where you were previously. Have you ever thought about where you'd be right now had you not made the decision to take the step and say yes to go in originally to Liberia?
I haven't given it much thought. Yeah, I really haven't. Things changed so dramatically for us. When I say us, I mean our family. And went in a completely different direction. And it's been a great adventure. It's not been easy. There's been a lot of things that the Lord's asked us to do that we didn't have a clue, how to do it. So it can cause a bit of angst along the way, but there's great joy in it. There's great joy in it. And so I really haven't given it a lot of thought as to where I would be. I guess I would still be in real estate, you know, and we would be. I just, knowing what I know now, what I've experienced now, I just think I would be frustrated. Like there's got to be more. Yeah. Does that sound?
No. I mean, it seems like a lot of people settle for that life of complacency, having built success by the world standards, where I feel like at the end of the day, that only leaves you unfulfilled, because like what the world tells you success looks like, and what actually genuine success by Christ standards and ultimately fulfilling the Great Commission and doing what He's placed you on this earth to do. I think when somebody finds that, they realize that the material possessions and, what you work so hard for by the world standards is worthless. It doesn't provide the joy that you're talking about that you've been able to experience, even though you went through a ton of angst, even though it's been a lot of trials and tribulation along the way. It's like the joy and the fulfillment that comes on the other side of doing what God has called you to do it provides value far beyond any monetary return that you could gain.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's like I said earlier, just the absolute gift of clarity, and losing those desires for material. Anything really. I know I got fancy clothes on, and I drive a Honda Accord.
There you go.
So yeah, I got that going for me.
Love that.
But it's a gift, man, and it wouldn't have happened if I had really held on to that original no. Like, no, I'm not going. It wouldn't have happened. But finally saying yes.
Yeah, like one question I love asking at the end of every episode, because it's so core to my mission behind Take a Step, is like so many guys find themselves in a scenario where they're choosing that comfort. They're staying complacent and feeling like they're doing what's normal. They're feeling like they're doing what they're supposed to do. But what I've experienced and what I can hear through your tone, just what you've experienced since taking that step out and saying yes, it's like, how can guys who are in that phase of the complacency, how can they set aside their fears and set aside choose to be uncomfortable and pursue something that's actually going to be fulfilling for the life that they actually want to live?
Yeah, I think that key word there is choose. Like you have to choose to say yes to something that's going to be uncomfortable to you. I don't know what opportunities exist before them, but I imagine there's something that is there before them, something that they have maybe on their heart that they just need to choose to say yes, that choose to put themselves in an uncomfortable situation, to choose to not have all the answers, to choose not to have a plan, but to choose to have faith.
Yeah.
And I think that can change everything. That one yes can change everything. So I just encourage people, like, if you have opportunity to go and do something that's just makes your chest tight, do it. Do it.
Yeah.
Even though you may not know why you're doing it, you don't know what the plan is. You don't know what the end result's going to be. Just take that step. Take it and go.
Yeah.
And see what happens. Like, God really, he really, I do believe he meets you. He's more apt to meet you in a very telling, clear way, in an uncomfortable setting, uncomfortable situation, than he is you sitting on the couch watching a football game.
Yeah.
So go do something uncomfortable. If it makes your chest tight, give it a go.
Yeah. Take the step.
Yeah,
I love it.
Take the step, which I love that, man.
Thank you.
That's been our model for 17 years is just baby steps, forward progress, and you reach that mountaintop, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Well, man, it's been awesome getting to sit down and hear a little bit more about the story, both of Live 2540 and then also just kind of your journey and how, where you were to, where you were in the midst of it and kind of what the vision is now. So it's been awesome getting to sit down and hear a little bit about it. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks for letting me do it.
Well, guys, thanks for listening to another episode of the Take a Step podcast. If you enjoyed it, please leave a rating or review on whichever platform you're listening. And guys, no matter where you are on your growth journey, every mile begins with a step. Talk to you in the next episode.